Hi, you're listening to The Advantage Podcast with me, John Kenworthy. Hi there, this is Dr. John Kenworthy and welcome to this podcast. And I've been prompted this week during my own development about setting goals rather than just drifting along and hoping for the best. And I wanted to share this with you. And I'm calling it the Sunday Drive kind of leadership. Because when I was a very young kid, I remember that we had an old black Austin Wolseley. I remember the leather seats and the horse in the back that you could flip down and sit on or separate the people at the back. It's where I would be sat. And my sister and my brother were either side of me. And my mum and dad were in the front. On occasional Sundays when Dad wasn't preaching or we weren't going to my grandma's, we would be treated to a Sunday drive. And one particular time, we went to Redhill in Kent, southern England, and this was long before the M25 motorway went past this particular spot. And we parked the old Wolseley at the very top of the hill on the grass, unloaded the picnic basket and the blanket, and there were loads of treats. Fabulous it was. I rolled down the hill with my siblings, but I had to be carried back up, completely exhausted. It was a beautiful, sunny autumn day, and life was good. Those Sundays were special. We never knew where we would end up going, finding new places to enjoy. But those Sunday drives became less frequent as I grew older. By the time I was around 11, they stopped completely. And I missed those Sunday drives. I wanted to spend a day drifting around and stumbling across some beautiful corner of England, a day when I could just drift along and be taken on a journey somewhere, just to enjoy myself. I've met a lot of people who live Sunday drive kinds of lives. They're drifting along, being carried by the current and the winds of life. Sometimes they enjoy it, but most days they moan about the place they've ended up. And of course, it's not their responsibility to take themselves somewhere more exciting. No, that's what somebody else should be doing for them. Now, I'm no botanist, but in my experience, when a plant is not growing, it's dying. If you don't water or feed your plants or tend the garden for weeds and pests, then your plants will wither and die. And I found the same happens to the lives of people when we don't feed and water our own growth and take responsibility for tending our life for the choking weeds and the pests. We too will begin to die, a little at a time. My ability and character as a leader similarly needs to continuously grow and mature, be fed and nourished, weeded and cleaned of the pests and mites and problems. Of course, there's a fear that if I grow too fast and too big, well, I'll just be the tall poppy, and as my peers try desperately to bring me down, and my bosses chop my head off because I am just too visible. So I'll just keep my head down and not bother growing. Imagine what it takes to plan a journey from Singapore to Bintan. I know that Bintan is a little south of Singapore. I know that there are ferry services to get there, so I'll just head down to the coast, find the first ferry heading south and get on board. That would be crazy, right? No, first you'd fire up Google and search for the right ferry, choose which service, what time, get a ticket, and so on and so forth. It takes a little planning. Every journey can be broken down into manageable steps or goals. And these act as milestones along the way to make sure we're still headed in the right direction, making good and timely progress. Any journey worth taking requires a little effort to plan and prepare. And your journey to your leadership success is no different. Each goal is a milestone on your journey, indicating your progress and providing direction to the next goal. And if you go off track, you can easily get back on track. So where would you like your leadership ability and character to be a month from now? It just takes a little planning, a little thought. So perhaps today, as a little takeaway, is take some time for yourself. Think about what you would like to achieve 1 month from now as a leader. Would you like to be able to influence somebody more effectively? Choose a particular individual, or perhaps you want to be able to make sure that you are observing more clearly or communicating better. Whatever your particular goal will be a month from now, take a few minutes, write it down, work out how will I get there? Who do I know that will enable me or help me to better communicate, to better influence, to more readily manage this particular problem, whatever that is. Think about all the little steps that you would need to do to be able to prove to yourself that you have done that. Make notes of those so that you can watch yourself. And, of course, as I will always encourage you, journal, write down on a daily basis, this is what went well today. 3 things that went well, 1 thing to improve, and overall what is going well. Continue to journal that. You'll find that you improve on a day-by-day basis, and if you've got a longer-term goal, a month from now, 2 months, 3 months, and so on, then you will make solid progress to your leadership development, both in abilities and in character. That's all from me for this week. I hope you are having a wonderful time. Please let me know what you think of these podcasts. Give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you, what you would like me to cover. Drop me a note, whether that's by email or fill in the comments on the podcast page. Enjoy a blessed day. Bye-bye. You've been listening to the Advantage podcast with me, John Kenwood. To find out more, visit us at celsin.com.